What's up, everybody? This is Whiskey in the Six. I'm Rob. Happy New Year. Welcome to 2017. Today I have for you the Macallan Edition No. 2. I started this channel off by doing a no age statement Macallan. I figure why not start off year 2 with another Macallan Edition, another Macallan no age statement edition. This one is, like I said, edition number 2. So I've let a few people try this bottle, but most of that portion used up right there is me trying to find something wrong with this particular dram. Quite simply put, it is incredible stuff. If this had a number on it, anywhere from 15 to 25, people would go absolutely crazy for it. It would already probably be sold out. It is bottled at 48.2%. It is natural color, and a few of the whiskey reviewers that I spoke to, including myself, feel like this is as close to unchill filtered as it gets. There's Scotch mist. It has a thick texture. If it's not unchill filtered, they found an incredible way to replicate that experience. Okay, by I guess maybe just leaving the alcohol percentage a little higher, and I'm not exactly sure. Maybe a good portion of first fill sherry casks. So basically, this is how it works. They chose the Rocca brothers, as well as their master blender, Bob Delgarno. So the Rocca brothers, there's 3 of them. In English, it would translate to Joseph, John, and Jordi, but I'm not exactly sure if that's the pronunciation. I believe they're from Spain, so J's usually translate into H's, so you can pronounce it however you like. But each one of those brothers, they own a restaurant, and it's called, somewhere on here, El Celler de Can Roca. So basically it's, my Spanish is terrible, I'm Italian. It should be similar, but often it's not. All I know is 3 brothers own a really, really high-end restaurant in Spain. They were chosen to help pick the casks used for Macallan Edition No. 2. That's what we have here. They know their food very well, and clearly, they know their drink very well, because this stuff is incredible. Okay, it's a combination of first fill and second fill sherry casks, both European and American oak used in this bottle. All right. It tells you exactly how much from each type of barrel is used, and that will make a difference in the overall taste of the whiskey. So 52% comes from sherry butts, which hold about 500 liters of whiskey. 21% comes from sherry hogsheads, which hold, I wrote it down here, 250 liters of whiskey, and 27% comes from sherry puncheon, which also holds 500 liters of whiskey. So 3 different size casks, or 2 the same size casks but different kind of wood used for those 2, and a smaller cask to get what's in this bottle, this combination here. You can pick up a ton of the American oak and Spanish oak influence in this particular dram. So I'm going to nose it, taste it, and give it a mark. What I will also say is, like I said, it's 48.2%. Okay, it is natural color. We don't know if it's unchill filtered, but I feel like it might be. But odds are it's not, because it's a Macallan product, and Macallan rarely ever lets their whiskey be unchill filtered. Okay. It's available in Ontario for $175. I thought it would be a lot more, to be honest with you, when it was released, but that's somewhat reasonable. It's actually $5 cheaper than the Macallan Sienna, and in my opinion, this is much better than the Macallan Sienna. All right, this is everything you want the Macallan Amber to be, basically on steroids. It's got the higher abbreviation, a little sweeter, a nicer nose, but let's get to that. Ton of orange and chocolate. That distinct Macallan smell, I don't know how they do it. I honestly do not know, but if you smell this glass, you'll be able to pick it out of 10 or 12 different types of scotch if you've had Macallan before on a regular basis. Okay, it's extremely Macallan, and I can't articulate it any better than that because it just has such a unique, identifiable quality to it. Like I said, orange, chocolate. You got some wood spice in there, some cinnamon, maybe a touch of vanilla. Some honey. I want to say a lot of citrus fruits, but not that sour kind of citrus that you would get from like a tangerine. It's more of an orange, a sweet, sweet orange. And definitely milk chocolate, in my opinion. It smells older than I'm guessing it is. I don't know what they put in this bottle, but if I had to guess, based on the nose and the taste, I would say the average runs in around 15 to 16 years old. I could be wrong. There could be 6-year-old whiskey in here, 5-year-old whiskey in there, but the majority of this has to be older, in my opinion. It has to be. Such a nice nose. It's honestly, just on the nose alone, it's so inviting. It's incredible. I think you can get this for about 120, anywhere from 110 to 120 in the States. Okay, depending on where you buy it throughout the United States. I picked this up in Buffalo for 109 American, which worked out to about 145 Canadian for me, which allowed me to save about 30 bucks on the bottle. But I probably will pick up another bottle at the LCBO because it's that good. Okay, on the palate. It's way more sweet than any other Macallan I could ever remember. I've had the rare cask, the ruby, the 18, the sienna, the amber, the gold, the 12, the 15. I've had a huge amount of Macallan in my day, but this is so much sweeter than any of those that I remember. And like I said, it has everything you want a Macallan to be in this bottle. It's 48.2%. I've said that 3 times now. But it doesn't taste like it. It tastes like it's 40%. There's no alcohol bite. It is incredibly smooth. It's sweet. The finish lingers. It's got all those same Macallan key identifiable qualities to it, like the tangerine, the chocolate, sorry, the orange, the chocolate, the cinnamon, just better. Whatever they did here, I don't know. I'm sure Macallan can't replicate this bottle, which is why I really think, even though there's, I think, 20,000 cases, I want to say cases of this particular one, so it is limited, but there's 20,000, so you're going to be able to find it for the next little while. I highly, highly recommend that you pick up 1 or 2 because it's going to go quick. I really think it's going to go quick. Once people have a chance to try this, they're going to go nuts for it. I might buy a case of this. I'm not going to lie. It's that good. This is my first Yes, my first A+. There's nothing wrong with it. I cannot find a single thing wrong with it other than the fact that it doesn't have an age on it. If it had an age on it, I could say, all right, it's a 15-year-old this or whatever. But it tastes like it's at least 15 years old, in my opinion. And it's bottled at the right abbreviation for it, because I've had 46% or 43% that burns on the way down. This doesn't do that. The Glengoyne 25-year-old is bottled at 48%. It is not as smooth as the Macallan Edition No. 2. I love Glengoyne. I'm a huge Glengoyne fan. That pains me to say it, but this is better. This is better, and it's a lot cheaper. It's a lot cheaper. Okay, so I know all those no age statement, those anti-no age statement people out there are gonna be snapping about this video, but it's really good. And I can't believe my first A+ is gonna be given to a no age statement whiskey, but you know what? That just goes to show you that I'm not trying to be biased here, guys. This is just based on the smell of it, the taste of it, and the quality of what's inside the bottle, and that's it. All right, so that's an A+ for me. Hopefully you've liked this video. If you did, subscribe below. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. On Instagram, I'm at Whisky in the 6. On Twitter, I'm at Whisky_in_the_6. And on Facebook, I'm Rob Reviews. I'm in a whole bunch of Facebook groups as well, so you can chat me up if you like. I try to respond to as many people as I possibly can. Like I said, A+, it's my first. If this is one of the first videos that you've watched of mine, just know that this is the first A+ I've given. And if I had to give it a number score, once I start to get into the A+ category, if I have to give things just to explain how good they are, I would give this a 90 to a 90.5, 91 possibly. So 90, let's say 90, but that's the highest score I've given. I've given my whiskey of the year, which was the GlenDronach 18-year-old, in my head, an 89.5. It was as close to an A+ as you can get. This just hits the A+ mark in my opinion at a 90. All right, so fantastic stuff, A+. Cheers, guys.